Hi guys, welcome to another Oracle card reading. So as I record this, we are currently approaching Imbolc season. We're moving away from Yule. It is currently the top of January, just a little bit into January, and so with it there is some of this energy of a new year and starting over and starting fresh. I'm going to have us pause there and instead stay in the energy of 2025. I'm going to have us still stay in the snake energy, the wood snake, which we are exiting. We're going to be moving into Fire Horse, and before we get to Fire Horse, I feel like there's still some medicine of the snake asking to come up. I also just feel if we are following the seasons, it's the dead of winter, right? It's not necessarily time yet to start new things, to plant seeds, to begin new projects. I do feel this is still a time of going slow and going inward and resting before the world starts to wake up and before the plants start to bloom and the animals start to come out of hibernation and those things. So this energy of this card reading is how to support yourself with the remainder of 2025's energy, how to support yourself the remainder of this month until we're fully in the Fire Horse season of 2026. That being said, I have two cards for us today, card 1 and card 2. So I encourage you to take a moment to feel into which cards you need. You might just have an impulse. One of these cards might light up more to you than the other, and that's great as well. Go with your impulse, your instinct, and let's just get started. We're going to start with card 1, which is Dream Realm. I hope you can see this. It's always a little hard to get the camera to focus on this card. I'm going to come a little closer so you can see it, and I'm also going to describe. These cards are based on Imbolc season, so you will see that there is a lot of candles. There's still a heavy winter vibe. There is the beginning hint of spring coming, but overall we are still in a quiet inner season. All right, so in the card Dream Realm, we have this woman. She's suspended, floating in a night sky. She has snakes, which is so interesting, right? We're exiting a snake year. She has snakes woven around her as she's just suspended in the air. And you'll notice she's collapsed in this state. She is very much just draped down and in this position. She is meant to be asleep in the storyline. We'll also see that there are there's at least 3 maybe lunar moths or butterflies floating in this card. There is a giant new moon to me because it is grayed out. I feel you're not meant to really see it there. And then we of course have a floating candle, which I always see as a little sign of hope in any card and always a good thing. The interesting thing about this card as well is it's a little hard to see, but underneath the woman's hair, you will see there's this hand reaching out, trying to grab her hair. The hand is kind of claw-like, if I'm going to be honest. The fingernails are just a little like spindly and reaching out to pull her hair. The other big thing standing out in this card is a couple of the stars are really accentuated and where there's just a lot of like attention brought to them in particular. There's one here and then there's one down here. I immediately thought of like the North Star, and then I realized that there are a couple stars just kind of illuminated even stronger in this card. When I take a moment to tune into this card, the first thing that really comes forward for me is how she's in this state of surrender. She is very much collapsed and she's meant to be dreaming. And I feel this is speaking to subconscious minds. And when we look at this through the lens of the rest of the year, right? Continuing of January here, what do your guides want you to know? What is important? And what I feel them saying, there's multiple messages in this card. One is our subconscious mind is so powerful, so important, and it has the ability to be influenced by its environment. In this card, she is wrapped around with snakes. Sometimes And snakes to me in this card are not evil. They're not a bad sign. Snakes have so many spiritual meanings, right? Their shedding of layers, their evolution, their transformation, especially when we think the fact that they shed skin, right? That's where a lot of this comes from. There is so much growth we associate with them. There's also like some warnings wrapped in snake messaging. Sometimes snake energy can also be like, hey, there's fear involved here. It's asking for a pause. And so with these snakes in particular, I feel like they're wanting to influence this woman. And it's not necessarily in the best of ways. Like it feels like there's an energy maybe in your life, and it might be in your subconscious, in your own mind. There's some low road thinking where you are shedding and wanting to release these old like patterns, these old way of thinking, or even just baggage and stuff in your life. And this might be metaphorical baggage, but I also get the sense of like literal baggage and literal things you're wanting to depart with, whether it's like clothing or old stuff, or like I feel maybe one of you might need to sell a car. Like, I don't know. I just feel the sense of like, it's time to part with things because our environment does have an impact on us. I also feel like our mind, it's so important to like keep it clean and clear as much as we can. And obviously no one is perfect at that, but it does feel like there are moments you are battling right now. And I say battling because I feel like you're aware that there's a certain way of thinking and that's not very helpful to you. And you're like, I shouldn't go down that road, but here I am. And I feel there is a higher path where like a part of you is like, you know what? Like I should rise up to this challenge. I should be the bigger or better person in this situation, or I should see that my habits are not healthy or something I'm doing is harmful to myself. And I do need to make a change here. I need to make a shift. This is not like I want you to start running a marathon now. Like I don't want you to change drastic things about your life. I want you to like get clean and clear about things that are just like away from your center. Like I feel like maybe over the holidays we resorted to old ways, we picked up old things, and I'm just feeling now like we need to get back to what actually helps you feel good, who has a good impact on you, who's a good influence on you, what environments are good influences on you, what routines do you find really help lift you up? Like, do you need to get back to your daily journaling? Because you don't even know the thing I'm talking about. You're like, okay, I pulled this card. I'm not even sure the negative like self-talk or the subconscious beliefs that you're referring to. Well, let's do a free write journal where for 3 minutes you write everything that comes into your head, right? And we just pour it on paper and we really look like, what's going on right now? Like, what is in the house being our own mind, body, self? Like, what's going on in here? What are the snakes, right? Like, what are the snakes? And we don't need to be afraid of the snakes. We don't need to burn the house down. We don't need to judge ourselves. Like, this isn't a shame card. This isn't like, I want you to now go feel bad about yourself or cut people out of your life completely because you feel they've been a certain way. Like, no, this card is just like this easeful, let go, surrender, like come back to your truth, come back to yourself. We'll see that there are flowers growing from the top of her head, or perhaps it's even a flower crown. It really does look like they're growing from the top of their head. And I feel the flowers are like the helpful thoughts, the good thoughts, the way that you want to be thinking. And maybe this means like you need to be doing less and you need to bring in meditation into your life, or you need some moments of stillness right now. You're in a really powerful state. So when we're in our dream state, it's partially how like our brain processes a lot of information it couldn't process during the day. Sometimes dreams can be really powerful and they can tell us a lot about our lives. Other times dreams are just like the playground to our psyche or our subconscious, and things need to be worked out in that way, and we don't need to make meaning of it. And so I feel, one, pay attention to the dreams right now. Pay attention to the subconscious mind. Also entering into this area of surrender, this mentality of surrender. And I feel there's this other piece of where you think right now, where you put your attention and focus is really important and is really powerful. Like, as she's suspended in this dream state, I feel like possibilities are infinite for her. Like, whatever she starts thinking about now, it's going to help lead her as our year actually begins. And it's not even that you need to plant seeds. It's almost that, like, I want you to just pay attention to where your thoughts are going right now. Like, what keeps circling about in your mind? What gets you excited? What are you curious about? What shows do you gravitate to? Or what media are you consuming? What books do you want to kind of read? Is there someone that you see in your space that's super inspiring to you? Like, let's just start paying attention to these good things, these things that are like our butterfly or our candle or our star energy. Because I feel there's glimmers around you, and I want you paying more attention to them than the snake. And sometimes that is how we like shed that energy, whatever the snake is here to help us let go of, is by just paying attention to what is going well and what is feeling good versus beating ourselves up that the snakes are present. Like, I just feel like, okay, but what are your butterflies? What are the candles in your life? Can you bring one in this week? For example, like, let's say you love to watch, I'm so guilty of this, like Great British Baking Show, and you're like, oh my God, that's amazing. This does not mean I need you to quit your entire life and your job and become a professional baker. Maybe it means so like you bake one thing this week, something that you know how to bake, something that feels easy but does bring you a lot of joy, or you make pancakes like with your kids, and that helps you connect to this energy of baking and making magic in a kitchen, right? Like, this can be small things because we're still in winter. I am not wanting marathon energy. Like, my fiery go-getters, all or nothing perfectionists, I'm looking at some of you. You need to chill. We're chilling. We're slowly dabbling, and we're even just thinking about the things that get us excited. Being aware of like, what are we still releasing? There's this snake in this card, right? It's so uncanny to me that the snake came into the card as we're releasing the year of the snake. So maybe even taking a moment to acknowledge the snake, the things you shed last year, like what growth happened. What did you overcome? What are you so proud of? Because snake energy is really powerful. It's not always comfortable because it is change. And sometimes we talk about like the venom of snake and how there's also an antidote within that. And, you know, I could really go off on some snake energy because it's so powerful. My dream realm people, I want you to embrace like a dreamy, cozy life. If you hear nothing else, embrace a dreamy, cozy life the next few weeks of January. Like, let yourself hibernate this winter with a kind mind, like with kind energy to yourself. Okay. All right. We are shifting. My card twos. We have our snowflakes. Okay, my snowflake cards, we have a lot going on. I'm going to see if this will show you. Beautiful, it kind of does. So we have a woman walking. She's pulling a sled with her. I really wish this would focus better, but what can you do? There are snowflakes in the sky. Some are drawn in a little more detail than others. There's a wolf with antlers walking beside her. There's these giant swans in the sky. She once again has candles near her. And the sun is fully out. This is a very different energy. Like, I mean, just the colors of our two cards. We got very different vibes. So these are my card twos. Okay, my lovely card twos. I love the snowflakes is the name of this. And I do feel sometimes the text of these cards can be helpful. I don't necessarily do readings based on these texts. I do reading based on what I'm feeling for it. But for those who find the text helpful, the text on this card is every moment is a sacred gift, a blessing you shouldn't take for granted. This woman is like very peaceful, and I feel she's content as she's pulling the child in the snow. There is not much going on in this scene in terms of like action in the environment. It's just them walking peacefully in this Arctic tundra. We cannot see where they're going. We can't see where they've come from. We can't see the list of things she needs to do when she gets home. I can't see all the things that could be on her mind. Rather, she feels present. And I would even argue that I would have loved for her to be looking back at the child in this card, because I feel that's the essence of this card, is paying attention to small moments, being present. This is giving the energy of like a Christmas vacation a bit, in the sense we have a chance to be present with our loved ones, or our holiday break, right? That is not always how those holiday breaks go. But there is the potential to be so present with our people, with our families. I mean, she even in this little family dynamic has a wolf or a dog pictured with her, which I absolutely love. I also love that the snowflakes featured are drawn so detailed. Each one, like the saying goes, is different. Everyone's a special snowflake, right? Every single snowflake is unique from its neighbor. One even looks like a starfish, which I find to be so cool. And you only can notice like those beautiful geometrical patterns of a snowflake. I mean, if they're big enough and you live somewhere where it snows. But if you get still and quiet enough to take a moment in time to really look at it. And I just find like when we take a moment to really look at a snowflake, like they are so magical. It is so beautiful. I live in the South, so we don't really get them. We get ice. But if we got snow, one of the first things I would do is want to like hold one on a glove and just see how it looks, because they're so beautiful. So she's present. She's noticing these things. There's also this element of play and fun in this card. There's the child on the sled. And again, what I would love is to feel the connection between them even more. And what I feel this card is saying, if you're someone with children, it's this invitation to be really present with your kids. And if you don't have kids, the kids can be your pets. The kids can be a partner. The kids can be friends. Like the kids, or even ourselves, right? Like our own inner child. It's this fun, playful energy. It's being present. It's part of the play that only comes when it's cold. So even exploring like what seasonal things are still available right now in my area, or that I could drive to, that I can't do any other time of year, or just don't feel the same any other time of year. Like, have you made homemade hot chocolate yet? Have you listened and watched the movies or songs that help you feel like nostalgic for the season? Have you seen all the lights in your neighborhood? Have you gone somewhere like on a cold winter hike? Like, what have you done, or what could you still do to lean into the season? Is there anything you want to bake? Speaking of card one, is there anything you want to bake that helps this season feel even more magical and special? And can you share it with others? Like, where our first card was a individual experience card, this is a community card. There are other members in this card who play an important role. The other magical thing I love when I saw this card is, I know we saw these beautiful, I believe, swans, but when I saw them in the card, I thought of Wild Geese, the poem by Mary Oliver. And I thought how much I love her as a poet and author, but also how I love that poem. And I love all her works. They're just so beautiful. And in that poem, and in her work in general, she has such a love of nature. It just pours right through. There's so much wisdom we can get from nature. So if you pulled card 2, I want you to look up Wild Geese by Mary Oliver. And I want you to see what line sticks out to you, because there are a lot of stanzas that have different, to me, like energies. Like some of them are talking about like noticing small details. The others are this ability to like give ourselves grace and love where we are. The other is like, you're not alone, you're part of a family. Another is talking about how the wild geese are calling you into the present moment to remind you, you are called in by the universe to be present. Like there's some magic in that. So look up that poem. I hope it speaks to you. In that energy, if we bring that energy into this card, I feel the wild geese, the swans here, are inviting you into a moment, are inviting you honestly into your own life. Like I feel maybe there's this disconnect, there's this going through the motions, like something feels offline to me. Like we're in a robot or just like going through the routine of our life. And I kind of want to shake you a little bit and be like, look up. Look up, look around you, be so present. You're missing something. You're missing your life unfold around you. And as I say that, I feel maybe some of us are like stuck. stuck in a place where we cannot even look up and we can't get out. And to you, I want to say, like, okay, if you're the person on the sled, who can we call? Like, who is our person to pull us to, like, help give us a little bit of energy? Who is that dog or that wolf we can call on? Can we get outside at least? Like, can we try to find that energy in nature? Can we make ourselves a yummy, lovely cup of hot chocolate? Can we just love ourselves right where we are as we are? And like be present from a place of love, not a place of shame, not a place of like you've wasted time, you weren't present, the holidays didn't go the way you thought they would or should, or you're disappointed in your own behavior or presence or how you felt. Like, let that go. Like, it's still cozy season. Like, we're still bundled up. We're still soaking in all the medicine and warmth from the past year. So be so kind with yourself. Be so easy with yourself. And where can you find these little wonders, these little snowflakes in your life? Because I promise if you start looking, like, they will appear. And ask your guides, ask the universe, like, show me some snowflakes. Show me some signs. Like, I'm not seeing them. I don't know where they're. Like, just ask. Ask for them and they will come in. And I guarantee once you do, you're just going to start training your brain to go find more, and you're going to like keep finding them more and more, and it's going to get easier. This is a quiet season. This can be a hard season. This is like a season, I picture this season of like being in a little burrow under leaves, under snow, and like just cozy in a little nest. So if you're not feeling the excitement and the energy and the pow, pow, pow of like 2026 resolutions, and like, that's okay. That's okay. Like the wheel of the year, we haven't started. We're not in spring. So let's have grace for ourselves and let's just be where we are with so much love. Okay, let me know how these resonate. Subscribe if you want me to keep making these. I'm sending you all so much love. Thank you for being present with me. I'll see you later.